Okay, so in this video I would like to show you how you can structure your work in the actual exam. What you see is the task, and what you do first is mark up obviously, but the very first thing is to use your paper that you see here, your note paper. And before you write down anything, first thing you do is this. You write down intro, title, author, date, topic, audience, text type. So this what you call Tatte in German, or Taz, doesn't actually matter, but these are the first things that you write down. That's what you note down here. Here you write down signposting. This is something that you remember first. Yeah, see tasks. Yeah, this is what you write down. Yeah, how you can work. And now you take a look at the actual tasks. So what do we got here? We've got point out for task 1. We've got analyze for task 2, focus on communicative strategies and use of language. And we've got a cartoon and its message as a starting point. And we've got discuss feasibility of Guterres' position on global water issues. So, what do we do first? Point out the global challenges related to water as outlined in Guterres' message. So we've got one aspect here. What you need is a pen with which you underline stuff. Let's use green waves here for that in this respect, so it's well visible. So point out the global challenges related to water. This is what we underline like this. Then we've got analyze how Guterres presents his views, and we've got to focus on communicative strategies and use of language. We take yellow for communicative strategies, and we take red for use of language. Yeah, so this is what you mark down. Next thing is your paper again. So task 1, you write down global challenges related to water. Yeah, that's the first thing. So focus again, please. Yeah, and here you note them down in the following. I'll mark them up. You note them. I'll mark them up. You can note them down. So what we do next is get back here to the actual text. We read the text now. Look for global challenges related to water using the underlining thing. Read action for water is action for peace. Nothing in there. Today, needed more than ever. Maybe something that you could even include. Turbulent waters, conflicts are raging, pollution, loss are rampant, fossil fuels, So there's basically a lot of conflict going on, and biodiversity, pollution, those are things that are challenges related to water. Planet heating up, so related to water. Seas are rising, rain patterns are changing, river flows are shrinking. Definitely water. Another challenge that is related to water resulting are extreme weathers, droughts in some regions, floods, coastal erosions. Yeah. Again, pollution and overconsumption, imperiling availability of fresh, clean, accessible water. Let's mark this all up, on which all life depends. Yeah, so a very important aspect, but we all know it. Still, it's important that it's mentioned. Increase competition and inflame tensions between people. So dwindling supplies, so the lack of supplies or supplies that are getting smaller. So increased competition, inflame competition, tensions, and overall risk of conflict. I think this sentence sums up the sentence before quite well. Another one. There's this World Water Day. Water for Peace is the name apparently. Achieving it lies in far greater cooperation. Maybe you could say only 24 have reported cooperation agreements for their shared water. Promotes managing shared water sustainably. So there are some aspects, or this is something that can be a problem too. And because not all of them have joined this cooperation is, or the lack of cooperation basically is a problem. Is a problem and a challenge related, a global challenge related to water. So, it says the lack of multilateralism overall. So, I would note down simply that for the at the end can also drive progress towards the sustainable development goals. Yeah, so there's this is a challenge that is not mentioned explicitly, but rather through saying what could be possible if the situation was better, and from that you have to basically conclude, all right, because this isn't there, this is a challenge as well. Foundation of peaceful societies. So I guess we can make an attempt to note down everything. So I hear, of course, improving health, reducing poverty. These are things that are in danger when there's not enough water. So let's note down water is rare, that would be needed more than ever. Conflicts are raging, pollution and biodiversity. We can say pollution, loss of biodiversity, inequality. Then there's extreme weather. Seas rising, rivers shrinking, droughts, floods, erosion. Then we've got overconsumption, pollution we had already. Unsustainable lifestyle. You see, I always try to somehow make sure that it's paraphrased using my own words, and this is imperiling availability of fresh, clean, accessible water. Availability. And competition about water leads to conflict or wars. Yeah, could be. Then go on. Lack of international cooperation. Yeah, on sharing water. Risks or endangers sustainability, and again accelerates conflicts. And then everything what's written down here: health conflicts or health problems, poverty, inequality, food and water security or availability. Yeah, so this would be our task 1. After task 1, transition. Yeah, to take just some notes here. Having pointed out, I am now going to, and then task 2. Good. So move on. Task 2. And here we start overall interpretation. Since we have non-fictional text, we need a main message. So, and I think it's safe to say that urgency of global cooperation, to protect water resources, to ensure peace and sustainability, maybe also resilience. So, intention, obviously raise awareness. Of the problem, basically everybody. is addressed here, plus take action to solve the problem. This is directed at policymakers or the government. To add policymakers, governments. Yeah, so here we've got our overall interpretation. Now we've got to look at, so put this away. The communicative strategies. How do they support this this overall interpretation? Let's have a look at the text again. What sort of communicative strategies do we have? Clearly we have appeals. Which color did we use for communicative strategies? Yellow marker. Okay, so the yellow marker. We have so we have direct address, our world, definitely. We have again our planet. There's even anaphora or repetition. Maybe that goes for use of language later too. We have in general the first part of the text as a or the first and second parts of the text is basically a contrast. So contrast lines 1 to 11. Threat, negative of global water problems, and we've got lines 12 to, what is the last one, 24, chances of cooperation. This is what we can write down here. So need that again. So exactly. Then we were with the appeals. Here we must accelerate. I urge all countries. And here we've got let's commit. So direct address appeals to the listeners and to governments. Highlighted the the audience quite precisely already. Direct appeals. Our world, planet. So there's line 2 and 6. We must I urge is 14, 15 and 21, 2, 3. Let's 23. and effect move or make audience take action. Call to action is here, and of course we've got examples where the problems that make what's a political issue. So for example, he speaks about the environment, ecology, with climate change. Find that basically in lines 3 to 8. There you can take a look at that as well. Then on way of life, overconsumption again, and then we've got conflict and war. We've got and we've got poverty, food and water security. Overconsumption, health, food and water security. Let's see where the lines are. Overconsumption is line 8. Health was line 22. These are all line 22. Conflict and war mentioned in line 11, and also implicitly in line 24. World of peace. So quite a number of examples he mentions why this matters and why it is urgent. So here we come with the urgency. We come back to the overall interpretation. Then we have use of language. So it's clearly said that already. Use of anaphora, our world, our planet. That's 1 and 6. It's repetition. There's repetition. Appeals to the reader, definitely. Includes him, and actually says, well, this is your problem too. This is your problem too. And you've got a number of enumerations. Highlight the urgency, because there are simply so many aspects. So, for example, we have that in lines 2 to 4. I have it in lines 6 to 8 as well. So this increases the so these are the examples that he enumerates. Also then again 22 to no, just line 22, yeah. And again we've got it in line 23 following. Yeah, so a number of enumerations, also phrased in parallel sentence structures. Yeah, that would be this: conflicts are raging, inequality is rife, pollution and biodiversity loss are rampant. Yeah, parallel sentence structure in line 2 to 4, emphasis, create emphasis on the issue. And then again there's this choice of words. Negative, raging, for example. Yeah, forgot to mark those all up actually, but here we've got raging, rife, rampant, deadly force we have, yeah, threat. Yeah, there's quite a number here in the at the top. Rife, rampant, deadly force, threatening. Yeah, and here these three, alliteration even, make it, yeah, makes it stick in the reader's head, of course. Sticks in mind, and then again, and then in the second part that feeds back well, or goes back well to the contrast we mentioned at the very beginning. It says, yeah, where we had the threats and the chances. Here we've got positive words, sustainably, work together, share is positively connoted, obviously. Cooperation is positively connoted, strengthen multilateralism, build resilience, peaceful, all these things here, cooperation, harmony, stability, so many words that have positive connotations that you can note down or that you can simply use from marking up. Yeah, and here you've got all your stuff. Transition, having analyzed, and so on, that you don't forget it. And then piece of paper. Third thing is we've got the cartoon, first of all. Global North, wealthy, South, poor, and it's much bigger. Yeah. Criticizes unequal availability. And purposes also. Yeah? So, garden versus living. Yeah, so quite clear. And this shall serve as the basis for our discussion. The preparation time is almost over, but we've got pros and cons that we have to find for the feasibility of Guterres's position. Can get do that, put that away again. And what could be a pro that this can work? Maybe because increased awareness among young people. Could be something. Scientific progress could be something you could refer to. International programs, such as the SDGs. For cons, we've got the cartoon. Global North. Versus South, and it's much more powerful, obviously. Maybe ineffectiveness of the UN. That we had in class, that we talked about. Then corruption within third world countries, or within poor countries, developing countries. So developing countries, because those are the most affected. Affected by water scarcity. Yeah. Okay, and if I take a look at these, I would rather say this is the one I'm going for. I don't believe not feasible. Okay, now I've had 32 minutes. About the video is going for 32 minutes now. I didn't really check when I started. But this would be the this would be my preparation time, quite rough. And don't forget, I'll try to make it as perfect as possible here. So here, this would be the I'm going into a bit more detail than you are expected to. So I will take my notes now and give you the full exam, the full speech here.